Hey, girl.
Hey, y'all.
How you been?
Woo.
You okay over there?
I am. I just had to move my table a little bit. They won't hear that, but you.
Oh, okay.
I am great. I'm doing just fine. How about you?
I'm very busy. Very busy.
Oh, we know, honey. You getting ready to head on off. You want to tell the girls about that? Because I know you said it at the end of the last episode, but.
Yes. So I'll be going to Thailand for the next week and a half. I'll be leaving a few days from now. I'm going to have to look and see what actually date we're leaving. But so I'll be leaving, going to Thailand. I'm excited about that. But who told me to book a trip to Thailand in the middle of the semester? So what I'm going to have to do is all the work that I would have done over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have to do it over the next 2 days.
Pronto.
Right. So that's what I'm going to be doing up until the time we leave. I'm going to be deep in these books, doing this work, and then I'll be able to enjoy the trip. But I'm very excited. This is going to be, I don't know if y'all know this, or I don't know what I done said on this mic. We did so many episodes at this point. I have a very big family. So this will be the first time in a long time that we've had a family vacation. And then this will be by far definitely the biggest one. I have older parents. They're not, they're in their 60s, I think. But they have never traveled out of the country. They had no intentions or desires to do so. So this is a whole big ordeal. It took a lot of prayer and faith to get them to agree to leave the country. But I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
I'm excited for you, child. That's big. That sounds like it's gonna be a good time.
Have your parents ever left the country?
On a cruise, yes, but not.
So my parents, they don't do a cruise. But like to actually go and get a hotel in the country, you have to eat, and everything you're doing is gonna be in that country. That was like a big thing for them. Like a cruise, they was fine with doing that. And they
right. I haven't done that myself either. I've never been to another country for not for an extended period of time.
Gotcha. I think this actually be my first time leaving the country as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, this will be my first time. So I'll let you girls know how it went.
I'm sure you're going to have a good time. Too.
Right. So that means we would definitely not have an episode next week.
No, we won't. Yeah. But see, they're not even expecting this episode. So the girls are being blessed, honey.
Right. Yeah, because this is a hope, a wing, and a prayer, what they call it, that we made this one happen. So.
Okay.
Well, we'll see you guys probably in 2 weeks. We got the next.
We sure will.
But I did have a few little things that I want to talk about.
You better have some pre-tea.
A rose for you. I'm sure you saw that Instagram account at this point. We didn't cover it last week. I forgot to talk about it. You know what I'm talking about? The rose for you.
A rose for you?
You have no clue what I'm talking about.
I don't. Maybe when you get started, I will, but I don't right now.
So there was this Instagram account. It's rose, like a rose, and then it's for, but Ivy, like, Beyonce always references for, and then you. And so what is essentially, and they posted a video, and the very first video was like some type of song, and at the end of it, it sounded like two women laughing. And it sounded a lot like Beyonce
you talking about Kelly
and
Rowlands.
Kelly.
Okay, now, told you, bitch, once you got started.
And so that Instagram page basically launched this whole campaign of people thinking that Beyonce and Kelly had some type of secret joint album, and this was them announcing it, because the page also only followed, at that point at least, followed Kelly and Beyonce and Tidal. Those are the only three people that page followed. It just appeared out of nowhere. And so they have been posting further clips and further stuff, getting hyped. They done got like 20 or 30,000 followers at this point. People just thinking that it's the Beehive and all of that. I don't think I ever really bought into it, just because I don't feel like Beyonce and Kelly would do a joint album. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that they won't do an album again. I feel like if they do anything, it'll be that. Like, it'll be, even if it was not intentionally to be shady towards Michelle or towards Destiny's Child, they would
wouldn't be intended.
Even if they didn't intentionally do that, the media it would become that, and just because of that alone,
Michelle would be brought back alive, to life, honey.
Just because of that, they would not ever do that. Just because, even if they felt,
optics alone,
just the optics alone would prevent them from ever doing that.
Well, let me say this. Kelly did on her Instagram, now that you say that, because I didn't know that there was like another Instagram page out there that was posting stuff that, was getting the girls talking. But Kelly did post some videos on her Instagram too, where she was like sitting in a car at one point, and then the other point she was like maybe sitting at home or whatever, and like music that was playing, sound like Kelly Rowland was playing in the background. It was like music we had never heard before. So this was all going on around the same time. So I'm guessing that
happened. Yeah, that happened the week before, and then one of the lyrics in Kelly's song was something about a rose petal or something like that, and which would that somebody decipher in the background. And so then the very next week, that Rose for You page launched. But the reason people thought it was Beyonce included into it because if one followed Kelly and Beyonce, and two, the laugh, Beyonce has a very distinct laugh.
And the laugh was on point.
The laugh was on point for it being both Kelly and Beyonce laughing. It sounded like both of them.
I think that was enough probably for the girls to kind of try to put it there. I didn't think album, but I did think song. I could definitely have seen a song.
A song between Beyonce and Kelly?
Yes, bitch.
I think they may do that. They probably would do that. I don't see anything wrong with them doing
But now that you say that Solange is getting ready to come snatch the girl's scalps, I don't know. I don't know when Kelly. I would hope that they would balance this out because I know we are going to be getting music from Kelly not too long from now.
Kelly said it's very soon, and that was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. She said very soon.
And now you're saying Solange has new music on the way as well. So I just need them to balance this out. And Beyonce's schedule is kind of free and clear at this point. Everybody y'all need to pull a schedule out. The girls need to get together, pull a calendar out. Solange, you do this time. Kelly, I just need y'all to, because y'all are in the same genre. So y'all would be direct competition.
I don't think so. I feel like they're in the same family, which makes them direct competition. I feel like Solange is like a free spirit. And Solange just does what she does what she wants to do when she feel like it, how she feel like doing it. That's honestly what I feel.
I feel like they all are. I feel like they all fall in R&B, and I know that they have their.
Definitely.
You got all your sub. That's what I'm saying. Like they in the same genre in that sense. So I just need them to kind of spread it out because I don't want them. I want the girls to be able to enjoy each one of them individually and not
comparing them,
not be directly compared because the comparisons are gonna happen anyway. It would be best for y'all not to drop y'all projects at the same time and then that just automatically put the comparisons on the table for us. So I just want them to spread it out. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we'll see. Solange, from the interview that she released, I think it was with Billboard or New York Times or somebody like that. I think it was New York Times. She announced that she was coming out with an album this fall and that she is nearing the final stages of the album. I'm very interested in this album because she said that it has some jazz influence, but it also, she wanted it to rattle. Like she wanted it to bump. So I don't know what the hell.
Some Houston, honey. Because
if
she's a Houston girl.
If she bring back some, I don't know what she's gonna do. Solange, I've loved all of her last projects. I'm not one of these Solange fans who's just jumped on a seat at the table. I've been with her since. Now that first project I went with that Soul Star, but the one that's after that, but I was with her since then. But I'm very interested to see what she has coming. I don't know. I just feel like Solange is so different. People are going to. It's not going to be as much of a comparison as if Beyonce came out with an album, while Kelly was out with an album. Like that would be like, I feel like the worst thing that could happen for Kelly. It's if Beyonce decided to do something this fall.
I just need the girls to, it's like whenever you release a project at the same time as somebody else, one wins and one loses. That's just how it works. One gets
who do you
a lot of press
in
the. See, that's what I don't want. I don't want that. I don't want. So who are you saying? Solange and Kelly, if they would release it at the same time?
Has Solange had a #1 album?
Maybe a
not Solange. No, not Solange. I know Solange has Kelly. That's what I mean. I don't think Kelly has ever had a #1. I don't even think she's had a top 5 album.
What are you saying though? What are you?
When you talk about winning and losing, you brought this whole subject up. All I'm saying is Solange's last album did very well commercially and critically. Kelly's last album may have done well, critically. I'm not sure about commercially her being a...
But how well did Solange do? Because y'all say this, but...
all I know is it did #1. To me, #1 is good, especially for her to be a completely independent artist. I think it was over 100,000, if I'm not mistaken, or it may have been probably not that. That's probably too high. 71.
What I'm seeing,
is it 71?
It didn't do that well. The first thing I saw, it debuted with 72.
Okay.
Album equivalent. Let me see. Do they have a total? I don't see a total.
Okay,
I'm gonna go to Kelly while you talk.
I don't know. Are the girls really rooting for Kelly right now? Do you think? Do you think they really like gonna be here for this next project, or they just? I don't know.
Has Kelly ever just really put out a project that nobody like we didn't care about at all?
No, I don't think
she tends
that.
to get you with a single, with the initial single. She tends to land those.
We're gonna see. I'm rooting for Kelly. I like Kelly. She's beautiful. She has a beautiful voice. I'm rooting for Kelly, but I don't know. I feel like it's too many years that went by. We've been rooting for you for so long that it's just like, okay, we tired of rooting. That's honestly how I feel. Not that we don't want you to be successful, but it's like at a certain point, like the interest, like I feel like Ashanti went through a period where she was gone for so long. When she came back, her fans went.
Don't do Ashanti like this today.
That's all I'm just bringing comparisons. But anyway, I think that's enough on them.
I do want to say Kelly came in at 68,000.
Okay, so that's similar.
Solange edged her out by about 4,000. So I don't know.
But what year was that? Kelly's last album,
like 2013, I think, or 2011.
And Solange's last album was 2016. For 70-something thousand in 2016 is a bigger difference than 60-something in 2013. I'm just gonna
Solange caught a very good wave of awakeness. You know what I'm saying? The girls were waking up. They were caring about the hair products and stuff, and so she caught a very good wave. I think
what really sold the deal is when she came up with that song. The first two singles, Cranes in the Sky.
Touch my hair.
And Don't Touch My. She said, Don't Touch My Hair. That was it. It was a wrap. Done.
Because that's a black girl.
And then the visuals were so, engaging. Like they captivated you. The looks, the pose, the choreography, everything was just like so right. And it was perfectly done. And I feel like if she could do that again. And I feel like she could just catch another pocket. Because I feel like Solange is woke enough to catch us again. And I feel like she
could catch a pocket too, but Kelly has done well with that as well. Kelly has been catching pockets her whole career. She has. Sometimes she have to leave here. She might got to go to Europe and catch a pocket over there. She catches pockets. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
We just said we didn't want to compare these albums, and now we done pitted them against them.
This is my whole point. Solange, Kelly, stop. One or the other. Don't do both. So you got any more pre?
I do have a little more pre-T.
Okay.
Just a few little things. Speaking while we on Solange, did you know that Wale and Solange dated for 5 years? Did you know that?
I didn't, but it makes sense.
And Lotus Flower Bomb, the song that he has with Miguel, Lotus Flower Bomb, that song is about Solange. And he actually says her name in the song.
Child, I'm gonna have to go back and take a listen.
Because he said solo, and then he said so long for now. He wrote that song about, because this all came to light to me because somebody tweeted him and said, "What happened to the girl who inspired Lotus Flower Bomb? You need to bring." Basically, they was telling him he need to bring that Wale back, and he was like, "She's." Shade, child. And he was like, "Oh, she married now." And this apparently Matrimony, which is another song, I think he also mentioned this, a line. Yes, it's also about because it also coincides with around the time that Solange got married. Girl, well. I was like, how did I not know this too? How did they date for 5 years and me not know this? And me being a Solange
because
fan.
It's Solange and it's Wale. I mean, I'm just saying the media is not.
I feel like those are two artists that can like go out and
they can slip and slide. Solange will be in the quarters in a minute, and you will never. She'll be on the block with you.
She'll be right in the French Quarter,
right above you. She'll be puffing right above you, and you won't know. I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, I'm happy for Solange and her man. They seem,
Alan. I think his name is
Alan Ferguson or something like that.
Yeah, he directs a lot of her. Well, he directed the last visuals from the last album.
That's beautiful for them, and he's a handsome man, and she looks happy and stuff. So I'm happy about that. But just as a fan of music and what could have been, Wale is one of the best I feel of today. Okay, he's up there with Kendrick, Cole. He's up there for me personally. Okay. I don't know how many people are interested in Mr. Wale. So his energy mixed with I could really see that working out. I just wonder what went wrong because me thinking about the type of person that Wale is from all the interviews I've seen of him on the Breakfast Club, and then kind of knowing Solange's energy a little bit, I could see that, and so I don't know. That's interesting.
Wale for me, unlike J. Cole's music, it just hasn't continuously resonated with me. That's all it is. It's not that it's bad. It's just like, okay, it just hits like a flat note for me. And so I don't like Lotus Firebomb. He has a few exceptions, but other than that, I've tried to listen to Wale projects, and I just never really got with it. I feel like the same way is when you listen to some projects, you never really get with it all the way. I don't. You got with the last project?
Seat at the Table was the one that I wasn't the most hype about. I love Solange prior to that.
Oh, okay.
I was one of the girls
I'm
who
forgetting.
was before.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Seat at the Table.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so Seat at the Table wasn't my album, right?
Yeah, I just equated your opinion with Seat at the Table with entire Solange projects, but my bad. A few other quick things. Janet Jackson, did you hear about her this week?
I have not heard anything about Miss Jackson.
Janet Jackson has been named the 2018 Global Icon Award. She's going to be getting that award this coming November at the EMAs, I think it is.
Okay, I was about to ask you who is giving this award out?
MTV. So they've given her. Janet has been the only person who's ever gotten their United States version of the Icon Award. She got that in 2001. The only artist to ever get that award. Now she's going to be getting the Global Icon Award. I'm not sure if this is I think this is an award they just made up just to give her. Honestly, not to downgrade the award, but I'm just thinking that this is not an award that they give out yearly. Like they don't yearly name a global icon.
So you saying you feel like she the first one, or it's been a while?
Well, let me say this. I know for the U.S. version of MTV, she is the only person to get the Icon Award. However, the Global Icon, I'm not sure. But I don't feel like they give out a Global Icon Award every year. I don't ever remember hearing about, this person is the Global Icon before in any capacity. But I do know that this year, Janet, I mean, we can Google it and find out, but this year, Janet is going to be getting the Global Icon Award. This is going to be like her 7th or 8th, what do you call these type of awards? Honorary. I don't even know what you call these type of awards, where they base it off of your legacy versus what you're doing right now.
But this is her 7th or 8th version of that type of
this year. Just I'm talking about
this
Billboard.
Year. Woo, go girl.
It's Billboard. It's like she's had so many of these type of awards just this year alone. To cap that off, she's now going to be nominated for the 3rd time for the Rolling Stones. What is it? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So she might get it this year. She should have already been in.
This seems like this would be the right one, right? This would be the time for it to happen.
Because if she keeps riding, like this is the pocket that she's been catching. Like she's been catching all
this is a pocket. Come on now. The name of this episode is Catch Your Pocket, okay?
Catch your pocket.
That's what it is. Catch your pocket, bitch. We all in life have got to catch our pockets. So you say the name of this award is MTV Europe Music Awards?
It's the EMAs. It's the EMAs.
Okay. So this award has been around since 2010.
Okay.
The first person that got it was Bon Jovi. After that was Queen.
So they give one every year?
Yes, they have been doing it every year. But we hadn't heard about it. I mean, they gave it to
we don't watch this.
The year she died. It seemed like they giving this award out like how we think in pockets.
That's not consistently.
Like. Yearly, but to the person who caught their pocket. Even if that pocket is death, honey. Because for an artist, death is a pocket, bitch.
But Janet, unlike Whitney, Janet will be performing at the EMAs.
Okay, bye. No, I'm just saying. Cancel. You're doing too much.
That was no shade to Whitney. I'm just saying that they could have given it to her before she died.
Exactly. She was deserving of it. Yes.
I'm
Lord have mercy. I do got a little small pre-tea.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard about this, but Queen Latifah, it's being reported that her and her girlfriend, Ebony Nicholas, are expecting a child.
Oh, congratulations to them.
I know. So apparently Queen has been with Ebony for like 5 years. And of course we did not know because,
I would expect it to be more than that. Because we found out about 5 years ago. But I guess those were the early phases of their dating, I guess.
Yeah, and then at one point they had split and everything. Child, but we didn't know. Because Queen, Queen don't.
tell her business.
She don't. And
when you don't tell the good or the bad, then nobody know nothing.
That is true. I don't know how. Do you feel like Queen should speak out about that at some point? Just with separate her, the person, and just with the brand that she is and the power and the influence that she has. Do you think that she would have been like an amazing ally for the community?
She would, and I actually was thinking about this earlier today. I can't remember who. I was Janelle Monáe when I was thinking about this, because the longest time Janelle Monáe did not speak on her sexuality at all, even though people speculated for years. But she never has, like a lot of other. Well, I'm not going to mention anybody else, but anyway. And I felt like, she should have. I felt for the longest time before this past year, when this last project, when she finally did. Really talk about it and show it in her art and all of that. I felt like she had an obligation, because she has a positive figure in the community. And I feel like we need positive people to stand up and walk in walk in this and be a representation. Mm-hmm. But then I also had to think about, I can't place extra responsibility on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I can't decide, Janelle Monáe, you have to go out and battle and be in the streets and do this and show pride and be a representation, when I don't expect, or cis people don't have to do that. I don't have to be honest. I praise Beyonce and Jenna for being private, not saying nothing about their personal life all the time. So I can't then turn around and tell Janelle Monáe and Queen Latifah, because you are one of the few, you have to do this. When I already praise straight people for not saying anything about their personal life, they should have the same right to not say anything about their personal life if they choose not to do so. So that's it's funny that you even said this. I didn't even know anything about Queen Latifah. I was literally less than an hour before this episode back basically debating myself on how I felt about the issue. That's what I came to. Okay,
so let me ask you this because I oftentimes compare the struggles of the LGBT community with the struggles of what it is to be black in America. So do you feel like you place expectations on black celebrity and popular figures on being proud to be that and to speak out against the issues that we deal with? Do you?
Is you in my head? Are you in my head?
I might be crawling around in there, sis. I'm catching a pocket.
Because
how about that?
This is because I was literally an hour before we pressed record. I was literally in the kitchen, literally cooking my lunch, doing whatever, and all this was just going through my head, like as
the expectations that we place on people.
Because I've said this before, and I think and somebody even commented, I think Sora Salsa is like, we don't like white gays, because I give white gays a hard time on this podcast, and it's for reasons that we're not about to talk about right now. But anyway, and so because of that, I feel like my personal wishes for people, African American people especially, to not only represent, or be proud and be a positive representation. People, let me say this. People in the black LGBT community who happen to also be positive figures just in the black community or in the community altogether, I want them to, be represented or, be voice their opinion, voice their struggles, be a positive, be a beacon of hope for everybody. But like I said before, I had to also correct myself and say that just because I want that, they don't necessarily have to. I don't feel like it's something that they have to do. It's something that I would like to see happen.
It's just a desire.
It's just a desire. And it's also a desire for me not to see you with somebody white as well.
Come on now. It's just a desire. It could lead to me buying one or two more songs or going to see one or two more movies or supporting one or two more of your projects. I mean, it could lead to that, but I mean, it's still just a desire.
It's just a desire. And one thing that irks my nerves, especially in the black male LGBT community, is that when a black gay man gets to become successful, rich, it's just like the same way that cis black men do black women. It's always seems like they always have a white boy on their arms, and it's just like, my God, my God.
Because I think if
I see another black gay man with a white boy on his arms, I'm gonna scream.
Because sometimes, do you think that some of that has to do with some type of, I don't know, maybe even subconscious level desire to be
accepted, or
to feel worthy? Yes, to feel like an equal.
What I feel like it is, I feel that it is, even this transcends sexuality or sexual orientation. Because I've talked about this before, or we've talked about this before, with black men and black women, and black men going off and dating white women. I think that white is taught throughout, especially in America, to be superior, to be something that's sought after something that is above and not less, and not less than black. So not that these people actively think less of their own people, but I feel like subconsciously, when the opportunity presents itself, they're going to be more willing to take it. You get what I'm saying? Like, because even it's not even a conscious decision. It's just something that we have been taught in our as children since birth, living in this country, that white is better, white is better, white is better, white is better. So when the opportunity to date someone of that race does present itself, you're more likely to take it because you've been taught that. You may not even actively think, because a lot of what we do and a lot of how we act and a lot of racism, and I feel like the truest forms of racism is when you can really, the most successful forms, I would say this, is when people can act and do racist actions without not even knowing or thinking that they're racist. That's, to me, the most threatening and the most most dangerous types of racism. When you have a KKK member who actively knows that they hate white people, who are actively expressing it, that's obviously bad. That's obviously wrong. But when you have white people who are able to live their lives not thinking that they are racist, and thinking that they are treating people fairly, thinking that they are living a woke life, but in actuality, the actions in their everyday life is just contributing. Their actions are contributing to further racist agenda. I feel like that's even more dangerous than you going out in the streets and doing Hitler. What is the white supremacist and all of that mess to me? And I feel like that's also we getting way off and we way deep.
Ooh, yes, but it's good though.
But yeah, so that's what I feel. And when black people tend to date white people, it just bothers me. With successful people. Now, if you're a regular person out on the street, I still don't like it, but it's cool. But I feel like when you are a black person and you become successful, uberly successful, then you have a history of always dating black people. Now, the next thing you know, you got money and fame and success, and now you want to date somebody white. It's sickening.
But from what you're saying, it sounds like it's not necessarily their fault.
You mean?
And I think that the way that you described it when you said that, it's like on a subconscious level, I kind of look at them every time I see that situation. I kind of look at that person like that. Like, you don't even know, like, what you going through, what has caused you to make the decisions that you are making.
You said something that I want to touch on in the early part of your comment. You said that it's almost like it's because it's unintentional. It's almost like it's not their fault. But I feel like as people, or I feel like with that statement, you can also turn around and say what I just said about.
I know what you're about to say.
How white people who don't think that they're racist, but they're acting racist. I feel like we as people and as human beings have a responsibility to grow and to evolve and to learn and to make judgments and different things like that. And I feel like it's our responsibility to, like, just like you and I are on this podcast, and we consider ourselves quote unquote woke or awake or whatever you want to call it. And we are weekly actively trying to get better, to become more aware, to become better people so we can respond even within other communities. And, I feel like me and you and I personally, since this podcast have grown, we have, specifically with the trans community, which we're going to touch on a little bit later, we have grown exponentially. We are not directly a part of that community, but our awareness.
I don't know, bitch. I might be getting some titties soon. You don't know. Girl, you don't know what's going on over here, bitch. I might want to get on the camera and shake like T.S. Madison, bitch. Don't count me out. No, I'm just.
But you get the point.
I do. I understand what you're saying.
And I don't want to get on here and say like, oh, I just feel like white people and black people are never meant to be together, That's not what I believe. That's not how I feel. I'm just saying that it just tends to is a certain trend. Same with cis African American men. When they get successful, they tend to always have somebody white on their arms. It's just a trend, and I feel like these are some of the reasons why that is going on. Mm-hmm. And because now you're in a position where they will now see you as a viable candidate. When you were sitting on your mama couch, you probably weren't a viable candidate to them.
So you think because they see you as something, no. But okay, I'm gonna move on from that. So you got some more pre-tea?
I do have some more pre-tea. We're gonna pre-tea ourselves today on this episode.
I might need to change the title.
We're just gonna catch the pockets. That's all we're gonna do this episode.
Yes, God.
Britney Spears. I just have to read her real quick, real quick.
Like, we can't. Are we? Do we have? Can
we do. Did you know? Do you know what I'm about to talk about?
No, but I know that Britney today is not Britney of yesterday, so I'm nervous.
It's not gonna be crucial. It's not nothing like that.
Okay.
I'm about to read her for wasting our goddamn time. She didn't waste my time because I'm not a What is Britney's people? I don't know what they are.
Auto-tune, press play. I don't know. Is it press play? They might be press play.
5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know what. But anyway, she went on Ellen this week or last week to make an announcement on Ellen that she has an announcement to make at a later date. So let me say this: you go on Ellen DeGeneres, the most #1 daytime talk show. You appear, and I'm like, okay, Britney got a new album. What's going on? She has an announcement to make. That she has an announcement. So she didn't tell us what the announcement was on Ellen. She just went on Ellen to say, tune in for my announcement. That's going to be later on this week. Right. So, okay, we're like, okay, it better be something good. Like, this must be really good. Like, if you going to go to somebody.
I'm like, wait, can I back up for just a moment?
Yes.
I'm confused at the fact that you were following the news.
No, I found this out after the fact.
Okay.
It hit me to my core. I didn't
you
see
online like this Beyonce.
No.
You Googling Britney?
No, girl. No.
Okay.
No,
Didn't know.
I'm going to tell you how I found out about this. Because she halfway wasted my time. But so she had an announcement on Ellen that she had an announcement. So basically, I think it was like a few days later, there was this whole big production. It premiered on television. It's like a 30, 40 minute or hour block off. They had, I don't know if you know Ellen, which I do watch the Ellen show and I subscribe. Well, I don't watch the Ellen show. I subscribe to her YouTube channel. So I see the videos when I'm going on YouTube. That's how I found out about this. But anyway.
Okay.
The Kaylin boy, who's also on the Ellen show, was hosting it. So they have this whole, basically several blocks blocked off. And they have hundreds and hundreds of fans out. You know, because she announced that she's having an announcement, so they out to see what's going on, and lo and behold, it was about 25 minutes worth of TV that they showed. So it was a whole big parade before Britney even came out. You know, they playing her songs. You know, the fans is really hyped. They come out. So it's in front of this some type of new resort, a new hotel.
This is about to be a letdown.
Right. It's in front of this whole new resort and hotel that's in Las Vegas, right? So, but before she comes out, they have like the lights
back on residency.
They have the lights come on the building. They have this whole big light show that comes out, and then Britney finally emerges. And then on the building it says new residency.
Huh?
Started
Bitch, I knew you was about to say that.
Started February of 2019. But the killer part is Britney emerges, and we thinking that she about to give us a performance. She about to at least say something. She just waved, did one cute wave. It wasn't even cute. She did a wave, and then she proceeds to walk down the parade route. Was it a sickening walk at least? No. This is post 2007 Britney.
No. We got to be aware of mental health issues. We weren't then, but we got to be aware of that.
But she didn't even walk the entire parade route to see all of the fans. She walked and did like a strut down the main part got into a caravan that was sitting right there and drove off. Literally, that's literally what happened. Like, she didn't say anything. She didn't have a mic. She didn't hit
one. Spent all this money for nothing.
I guess the people who doing the hotel that she's performing at the residency. I don't know, the resort. Girl, that was the biggest waste of time I have ever seen.
Britney has been wasting our time for the last 7 or 8 years.
10 years.
20. I mean, I'm just saying
it was such a big waste of time. The fans were sitting there. You could see their faces like, did I really just stand out here for 6 hours to come see Britney? And this is to see what this.
She could have at least performed.
She could have at least she could have said a word. I'm excited to be back in my residency. Blah 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 blah. New residency, new show. Come see me. She didn't say anything. She didn't even have a mic in her hand.
But her mics have never been on though, so they don't. It don't. She didn't really. I was just collectively upset. I want to know whatever Britney's fans are called. I was just collectively upset with them. Like, if I supported this, are they the Oops?
Oops, she did it again. Base. What are they called? Base. I feel like it's gonna be the Toxics. I don't know.
That's horrible.
What is
Britney Army?
Britney Army. Girl, you're not supposed to have the person name in the. You're supposed to do a variation of the name. Did they not get the memo?
I don't think they did, but it is. I'm looking. They got. They actually keep up with this shit. There's like a whole list of like everybody's fan base's name.
Yes, I did. I had to Google that for a couple of the girls to see what they.
They got.
The Lamely
on here. They got the Lambs. Okay, yeah. So they're definitely Britney Army because this list is correct on everybody else. So that's terrible. So we got the Navy and then the Britney Army.
But it's not. It's just called the Navy.
I thought it was the Navy. My bad.
No, it's just the Navy. Like,
I don't know. I can't be in no fan base with no vocals. Don't know.
Anyway,
but I like the Avon lady. We're gonna talk about her a little later.
We will.
I love her.
I think that's it. I do have a few more things, but I'll just dose them out as we go on. But yeah, that's it for now. We can go ahead and start the episode. 40 minutes in, we can start the episode.
Yes, God. I am Tiger Tansy.
And I am Wise Gakko. And welcome to
what?
The Backseat Drivers.
Let me do my thing. My thing. Won't you let me do my thing? My thing. Won't you let me do my thing? My thing. Won't you let me do my thing?
Ooh, girl. I'm sorry. Right. Going to get some water turned into I want a snack.
Yes, bitch.
And I fixed them some snacks in there, but.
Oh. Wise Gakko has his. Is it one niece and one nephew? Or?
No, 2 nieces.
Okay, 2 nieces.
But you don't have a slew of nieces and nephews.
Girl, I know y'all have a humongous family, honey. Yes, he's with them. They're there at his sister's residency, honey. They were in the background on maybe the last episode. Y'all may have heard like a child or 2. I just want y'all to know they are at Wise Gakko's place. Just in case y'all heard that and was like, I know that sounds like a damn kid.
Right.
Yeah, now y'all know.
What we doing next?
What you want to do?
I don't know. Do you want to do some records, or you want to go back and forth again?
Girl, that's the only game I play, honey. I don't know no other way.
I can do something if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so if you are banking at Wells Fargo, if you are investing at Wells Fargo,
if you are fucking yourself up with being tied to Wells Fargo in any way, shape, or form,
if you even take your Chase Bank of America and swipe it. Oh, they got the chips now. And stick it in any of their ATMs. I don't know why. What would possess you to do that? Get your money, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your money from Wells Fargo.
Hide your account, your social security.
Everything. Wells Fargo has agreed to pay $65 million as part of a settlement for misleading investors. Now, this goes back to when they were, the problems they had when they were opening fake accounts for people. So people would go and then they'll find out they had 3-4 checking accounts, and all they ever did was open up a savings with Wells Fargo.
Shaking my damn head.
Wells Fargo did this to mislead investors because they had set unrealistic sales goals. So because they set unrealistic sales goals and that they needed to mislead investors to invest in Wells Fargo to make them think that they're doing better than what they are. So now they have to pay $65 million in fines just for misleading investors. Now, this does not address the actual legality or, how do I want to say this? The New York Attorney General basically stated that the investigation into the illegal business practices of Wells Fargo is still ongoing, and they're gonna decide how they're gonna address that at that time. But as of right now, $65 million are going to investors. I do wish I had some stock in Wells Fargo prior to this incident. But then again, I would realize that they stock would have plummeted as soon as they found out about it. So it just would not have worked.
I was wondering because I was like, I know Wise Guy Code know enough to know.
But yeah, I would have thought about it, but it wouldn't have paid off anyway. But anyway, so if you're banking or doing anything with Wells Fargo, please run. Please go to jail. Do not collect $200. Do not do anything. That's it.
Alrighty. Whew, so this next topic, it's not celebrity related. And I know most times when we do, the quickies or the whatever, sipping shade, whatever it's called, child. When we do what we do, we normally talk about celebrities. I don't know if we've ever have we done one that wasn't about a celebrity?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. Well, this one is not. I don't have names. I ain't got none of that. I just got the story, and we got the video, and y'all may have seen it at this point because there was a video going around. Is it
Wendy Williams?
No, girl, that's a celebrity girl.
No, the girl she interviewed. That's what I mean. Okay.
Now, if you want to deliver that, you deliver that next because that sounds interesting, bitch. That sounds interesting.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I may have because I've seen a lot of her interviews, but I don't know which one you're talking about. But
it'll be quick.
Okay, we'll see. Okay. So you may have seen, I don't know if you saw this, you may have seen a video going around of a woman. She was dropping off like a 2-year-old child at the doorsteps of a home, and before the door opened, she ran to the car or whatever. Okay, so I don't know if you got all the information that was behind that, but we done got everything we need to know about this situation now. So she dropped this 2-year-old child off at the doorsteps of this house. She rang the doorbell, she knocked on the door. But before anybody answered, all you see in the video is her running away and leaving the child on the doorsteps and getting back in her vehicle to drive the fuck off.
Right.
So the owner of the home ended up answering the door, and she was in the middle of answering the door while the girl was running off. And she did not recognize the child that was on her doorsteps, but she went ahead and she took the little boy in and she put him to bed with the other kids that she had in the house, and she called the police. So the police went door to door and they were questioning the neighbors, trying to see, okay, like, are you missing your child?
Who baby is this?
Like, right, like, hey baby, do you know if your child gone or not? This is a child in the neighborhood. No one in the area claimed the child. So of course CPS stepped in and took the child in. And that night they put the video of the woman dropping the child off on the doorsteps. They put that online, I guess, trying to, go ahead and find this, because the internet will tell you.
Right.
The internet. That's
LaQuisha Thompson.
So they put the video on there, but it wasn't until the next morning that the father came forward and said that the child in the video was his. So he ended up being interviewed by ABC, saying that he did not know the woman that was in the video dropping the child off, but that was his kid. So the initial story that was told by the police and by the media was that the mother was supposed to drop the little boy off to his father, but she ended up in the hospital. And so she asked her friend, the woman that's in the video, would she drop her, her child off for her? What happened was she did not drop the baby off at the time that they had set, nor did she drop the baby off at the right place. House. at the right fucking house. So the internet been roasting the living hell out of her, and deservingly so. If you've seen the video, it's horrible. She literally just left this child.
See, this comes down to really one thing to me: poor communication. Because, okay, I have some questions. I just have some questions.
Okay.
The mother, she had already been in the hospital, correct? Or she just got admitted?
Okay, so you got questions that I need to, let me finish the story, and then that's going to give you more detail. Okay, so, like I said, the internet was roasting a friend, so the friend done set up here, and she done did an interview now. And baby, she done blew up the mama spot, bitch. She done blew up her whole hospital story. So, but before she did that, this girl had the nerve in the interview to say that she loved kids and that the people on the internet making her look bad.
No,
fam. No, fam.
That ain't what happened.
That ain't what we saw. Sis, you didn't know you was being filmed, sis. You was being you. You was being you. You was doing you made the decisions you wanted to make. She said that her excuse was, she said, well, the lady was halfway to the door before I took off. Now the lady in the house claims she never saw your ass. That's how fucking gone you was. She didn't see you.
She couldn't have been halfway to the door because I think the whole video was like 19 seconds or something like that.
Come on now.
From the time of her getting out of the car, dropping the child off, and running back and driving off in her car, she was back in her car within 19 seconds.
Gone. Let me tell you why she said she took off like this. She said that the reason she ran off was because it was chilly outside and she didn't have no sweater on.
So it's okay to leave a whole ass baby?
Mind you, the baby didn't have no coat on or nothing, so bitch, if you chilly, what the fuck you think
it's damn chilly, but it's not too chilly for the baby.
Hey, let me tell you though, the internet got it together. They said, bitch, you in Texas. It ain't that fucking cold. Right. She tried it. Like, if y'all have not heard this woman on this video saying, I might have to just put her in here saying it was chilly. I'm gonna have to put that because that shit was funny. Okay, so it's funny because the baby was all right. So in the end, I can laugh about this shit because the baby's fine. Well, I don't know. Y'all determine if the baby fine when we get to the end of the story.
Lord.
Based on what the CPS did. So the friend said that the child's mother asked her to drop the baby off because the father's new wife has a restraining order out on her ass. So she couldn't drop the child off. She was not in the hospital.
Okay, so that was a lie.
In the hospital. It was a complete lie. And both parents went up to CPS to get the child, and they ended up releasing the child back to the mother.
What the father? What?
And now the mother's friend is facing child endangerment charges. Now, I'm looking at mama and daddy crazy because mother, you done told a whole lie as to why you didn't drop your child off. And father,
so did he actually have a strain? Did his wife actually have a strain?
Now that I don't know if that might be another lie. We don't even know if that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? We know you told one. That sounds like
a follow-up lie.
Come on, sound like y'all wasn't, like you said, poor communication. Sound like y'all wasn't even on the same page for the lie.
Right.
But I got to look at the father crazy too because he said that the mother told him that the friend was gone. So we at least know that part is true. He said that the mother told him
that the child was going to dropped off. I heard that. But when the child didn't come, he's like, oh well.
He just left, bitch. The child, the friend did not drop the child off in time or at the planned time, so he just left the house, bitch. He went on about his motherfucking day. You done went and came home and done went to bed. Both you and the mama
done went to bed.
And not knowing where the fuck your child was at.
Not concerned. See, that's what I saw poor communication because initially, even with the first story, when she was supposed to be in the hospital, I was like, okay, so I knew that he was expecting the child to come. And then I remember him saying that the child didn't come, and then he just went on by his day. Like, it was nothing in his whole next day when he found out that his child was on national news. Mm-hmm. But my thing is, if I'm expecting my child to be dropped off to me, and they don't show up, I'm going to call the mother and and be like, "Where are you with my child? What's going on? Are you not coming? Are we gonna do another that? What's going on?" That's just like me and you. We recording an episode. I'm expecting to call for you at 5:30. You don't call, so I just don't call you. I just go on, just go on like nothing is gonna happen. Like nothing that we didn't have any.
Like we didn't have a come on now. And I want to know from the mother, like, what did your friend say? Did your friend say that I successfully dropped off the child? Like, what was the communication on your?
You know what he did? He treated this like this was Friday night plans, because you know what
they said the mama and the friend did the same thing, because it was, and if you could see the outfit, yes, sis was chilly because she had on her club fit. Right. That's why she was chilly. Sis barely had anything on,
and she was trying to get in free before 11.
Come on now, and so was mama. Girl, run in here, because that woman, she done took out that damn restraining thing. Run this child on in there for me.
But you know how black people are. If, for example, if we set up plans for next Friday, and then Friday come and we ain't said nothing since then, it's pretty much
it's canceled.
So I guess that's how he viewed his child. I'm supposed to be picking up, the child will be dropped off to me, but I ain't heard nothing from the mama, so I'm just gonna.
Neither one of them was fit for that child to go home with that night.
Lord.
Neither the fuck one of them. And so I just want to just lift our hands up and just put a prayer over that child, over that young man, honey, because these parents, that ain't it.
And then what was the girl excuse for dropping a child off at somebody's house that she did not know?
At the wrong house.
So she said she make it to the spot and he wasn't there, so she's like, let me just drop this baby off somewhere.
I think she had the wrong address. I think she thought she was at the right place.
You think that she thought she was at the right place, but decided, I'm just gonna leave his daddy in the house.
I just think she just was trying. I think it was exactly what you said. They was trying to get in for free, and they had a set. I don't even have time for you to answer this fucking door, bitch. I got to get in this club.
Lord, that's a hot mess.
Horrible.
Hot mess. I guarantee you they didn't have no car seat in that car. I can see it now.
Know.
I already know they didn't have no car seat. Jesus. Okay.
It was chilly.
Bitch. You in Texas. Lord, we done been in Texas plenty of times and Chile ain't never came across.
That ain't okay. Chile is nowhere near.
It would be the last state to get chili.
We don't even use that word in the South.
And then it's October. You know, the fall don't even come until after Thanksgiving.
Come on now. And then the fall be about a week.
It be about a week.
It's about a week.
Lord.
Chili. Girl, when the last time you used chili down here?
Oh, Lord.
Talking about when you about to eat some chili. That's the only type of chili, bitch, we know.
Oh, but it don't even get cold enough for that.
Girl, but we'll still eat some chili, though. We will. Hot.
I posted a meme the other day. It said, you smell that? It's like, Simba and Mufasa sitting on that thing. They looking over the horizon. And he said, you smell that, Simba? That's, he said, you smell the rule in the air. He said that means that it's below 70 degrees in Louisiana.
Yes, honey.
Oh, goodness, because we will whip up a pot of gumbo real quick.
Come on now.
But anyway, I guess, since we're talking about Texas, let me go ahead and skip this next one. I'll skip over Georgia. Let's go to Texas. Texas has been a Republican state for decades. The last time that Texas voted for a Democratic presidential nominee was 1976. What is that? That's like 40 years? 40 years? 42 years? 42 years. I think it's 42 years. We struggling. 42 years, I think.
That's that Louisiana education. Kicking in.
Anyway. But for the first time in a long time, as we approach midterm elections, which feature several close races, some are considering the fact that Texas could actually become a blue state for the first time in 42 years.
Well, praise Jesus.
And that was the presidential election that they voted for, which typically has a better turnout than the midterms. So for them, if they would have accomplished this during the midterms, that would be huge. That would be unprecedented. But anyway, one of the Democratic spokespersons for Texas stated that the numbers are on our side. We have plenty of people that, if they would just get out and vote, could actually flip Texas and make it actually a blue state for the Senate and the House. She also went on and stated that it's sort of a misnomer. She says that Texas is a red state. She basically went on to say that she feels that Texas is less of a red state and more of a state that just doesn't vote. I don't know how true that is. I think that she just a little delusional, because Texas is very red, and if you ever been to Texas, you can feel it in the air.
You can smell it.
you can feel it in the air. But anyway, she went on to talk about the turnout could be very changing. The reason that they're optimistic, I should say, this year is because there is a 15.6 million Texas voters have registered to vote over in preparation for the October 9th deadline. So they had 15.6 million voters registered to vote. This is an 11% increase, especially for midterm elections, because people don't typically care about midterm elections. I don't know about you, but growing up, I never really even recall even hearing that much about midterm elections. It was all about the presidential races.
They've never been marketed and advertised and pushed the way that they are now.
This is like the biggest one I feel like has been in a while.
In history.
And that's because we have such a divided country and such a bigot and racist in the White House that is forcing people to become to feel to actually be engaged in the election process and engaged in what's going on in politics. Because before Trump, I will give Trump this, before Trump, politics and all that, it was kind of a snooze fest. CNN, Fox News, everybody was just kind of a snooze fest.
When the president is doing what he's supposed to do, like Barack.
When it's in cruise control.
Yeah, when it's in now we did get just a tad bit interested when George Bush was in office. We was like, okay, bitch, I don't know now. We was young as fuck, but we still was like, this man fucking shit up. We don't like this.
Right. But right now, politics is Trump can make daily news and be on the shade room all day. Like, that's how much politics is implemented.
It's a part of the culture now.
It's a part of our culture and who we are as Americans. So what has these people scared about this 15.6 million is that it's young voters. A good portion of these newly registered voters are young voters. With young voters, people, I think under the age of, 28 and under are more likely to be Democrat. And
they're more likely to have sense. That's what they're translated to.
And also, they have a large presence of Hispanic voters. Texas Hispanic population has increased by 1.5 million people, and they also, a large portion of the people who have now registered to vote in that 15.6 million of Texans are also going to be Hispanic voters.
Come on,
Hispanic voters, I think, are voting Democrat over I think it's 80 or 90% Democrat. So it's overwhelmingly Democrat.
The other side want a wall. They better.
That's what has the Republicans and Texans a little scared. They did come back and say that they feel like that they don't have anything to be concerned about. They may lose a few seats in the House, but they feel like they're going to hold the majority of the seats in the House and pretty much all the seats in the Senate.
What do they say? Pride come before destruction? Okay. Yeah, keep thinking it.
But in my honest opinion, I don't feel like they're going to turn into a blue state, because in order for them to turn into a blue state, they would have to flip, I want to say, over a dozen seats in Congress would have to be turned over to Democrat before it would actually become a blue state. What I do feel like it's going to become is a purple state. What a purple state means is that it's pretty much right down to the wire. Like, it's pretty much 50-50. It's not really Democrat. It's not really Republican. And states like Ohio and Florida typically have been kind of like a flagship purple states, meaning that each presidential election or midterm election, they can swing either which way. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Texas now, because of the large amount of, for one, Texas has had a lot of young people move to Texas. I don't know why they moved to Texas, but a lot of young people have moved to Texas.
Girl, they feel like it's opportunities over there, girl.
All the southern state girls, they feel like it's opportunity in Texas, I guess.
With I guess, not such a large increase in your cost of living, like moving like to Cali or to New York or something like that.
That's exactly what it is. But so they have had a large increase in young people moving to Texas for some reason, like the reasons we just mentioned, and they have also I mentioned a large Hispanic population actually becoming citizens and being able to vote and all of that. But I did want to mention just a few other things. Texas, which is still concerning to me, has a 51% approval rating for Trump. And Hillary...
You say 51?
51% approval rating. Mm. So typically the majority of people who are living in Texas, or at least participating in these polls and things like that, actually are liking what Trump is doing. The other problem is that Hillary Clinton only received 43% of the vote in Texas. That is, however, more than she did in Ohio or Iowa, which are two battleground states, but it's still not that great. But we'll definitely keep you guys posted on how it turns out in Texas. If you guys are listening from Texas, I know we have a lot of Houston girls who listen to the podcast. We definitely need everybody over there to go ahead and vote, because if y'all can at least get it to purple, that would be an accomplishment in and of itself.
Oh,
because as red as Texas, I feel like Texas is, that could be changing very, very soon. Did you want to do another one, or you want to go?
I sure gotta slide in, girl. See, there you go. You're trying to get all yours in. Didn't I tell y'all? Y'all keep y'all eye on Wise Guy Code. I told y'all that he liked to go first, girl. Okay, so I kind of blame you for this because you were how I found out about this.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No clue.
A certain somebody booked a certain gig and it didn't really sell no tickets.
Oh, Ashanti.
I wasn't gonna say no names. I wasn't gonna.
Okay, yes. Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I don't know if y'all heard, but Ashanti was set to perform at a university, Stony Brooks University, for their Back to the Brook concert. I never heard of it. Never heard of it. But Ashanti was booked to perform, and the concert only ended up selling 24 tickets. And a lot of people online, they've been like, oh, y'all just trying to hate on Ashanti. This is not true. This is not. It's true.
I'm sorry. It was true after I posted it.
I am so. I figure. I am so sorry, but y'all, it is true. The school themselves released a statement, and they said, as an organization, we do our best to host programs for students while providing diversity and inclusion. However, I don't understand what they got to do with not selling no tickets, but okay. However, we have struggled to execute certain aspects. With only a week before the concert, only 24 tickets were sold to students. I kind of wish they wouldn't. They could have just said, it's low ticket sales, y'all, so we can't.
Right. They didn't have to give a specific number.
They did not have to, because let me tell you, the internet been dragging Ashanti up and down every street they possibly can. Apparently, Tiana Taylor was booked originally to be the headliner of the event, but she pulled out like 2 weeks prior to it happening, and it wasn't enough time, I guess, for the university to properly promote Ashanti as the new headliner.
But to me, that means the event wasn't already doing good before, because that means the 24 tickets could have been sold when they was planning on buying it to see Tiana. You know what I'm saying?
So you saying no tickets were sold?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Is that what you saying?
No, what I'm saying is...
Matter of fact, they was requesting refunds? Is that what you saying?
What if they did see an increase in refunds after that?
You know what?
We're not about to do that.
Somebody reach out to their school and find out.
Because they messy enough to tell us.
They messy enough to... Ashanti only got us 24 tickets sold with her out-of-date ass. That's what they really said. Well, I don't know why they did Ashanti like that.
What do you think
the problem is?
I feel like the problem had to be the school and the promotion for it. Because 24 tickets, that's nothing. That's nothing.
Because let me tell you this: if Beyonce would have booked this gig, it would have been sold out with or without promotion. I'm just saying. So is it does it?
Well, I'm just saying that Ashanti. We already know Ashanti doesn't have like to me as far as a natural drawing. Let me say what I'm trying to say without being shady or make y'all think I'm.
Because she out here on tour apparently, and it's doing.
What I'm saying is that I believe that Ashanti can go out and perform and book arenas and sell out venues, different things like that, and people pay to see her. But people have to be told that Ashanti's coming to their town for them to, versus like you mentioned Beyonce. If people
word of mouth alone would have been
that's
enough.
not. It's word of mouth is not going to be sufficient enough for certain artists. They need you to be having tickets given away on the radio station.
Yes,
constantly being told, seeing flyers, everybody and their mama talking about it. They need a push.
But with proper promotion, you're saying that Ashanti would have sold this venue out.
I don't know how big the venue is. I didn't say. I mean, it's
a university, so it's limited to some degree.
I believe that she could have done well. I don't believe that it's not like just everybody. Now hold on, because I did see somebody in the comments said this was a white university.
A what?
A majority white. A PWI.
Girl, have you ever heard of a Brooks, a Stony Brook? Girl, that sound white. Stony Brook, bitch.
If it was with that demographic,
it ain't an HBCU.
With that demographic, if it's like 89% white people, they probably don't know who Ashanti is. They probably would misidentify her. Misidentify her in the lineup.
They would have misidentified Tiana Taylor too.
No, because that Fame video, the girls, I feel like white people really was like, okay, who is this girl? What's going on? They really, for some reason, they fuck with Kanye. It's not for some reason. Y'all know the reasons.
Yeah, we know.
But anyway, yeah.
Okay, Ashanti.
Do you want to go see Ashanti? Would you go see Ashanti live? Okay.
No. I was really trying to think. Is it here or do I got to drive there?
You have to go plan a trip down to somewhere.
A whole trip?
Yes. You have to go to New Orleans.
Sullivan coming on right behind her?
No, it's just Ashanti. You have to it's a trip to New Orleans. But
now New Orleans is nice.
Okay, a trip to Jackson.
Ooh.
A trip to Jackson.
Ooh.
Because we don't go to New Orleans for anything. We don't even need
We will. You don't. Nobody got to be there. We will.
Or a trip to New Orleans, but you can only go to the hotel and to see her, and then go back to the hotel. You can't do nothing.
I can't even stop and get a drink, bitch. A Long Island. I can't get nothing.
Well, I'm saying you could do that. But you can't go out and no festivities. You can't go on Bourbon in the French Quarters. You can't go to
why am I late? Or is Ashanti like what is preventing me from going out?
I'm trying to get it to. Are you going there to see her and not going to New Orleans?
You're not trying to give me no extra activity to add on to this.
Yes. Are you going to go see her?
This is just a straight Ashanti ticket.
Straight Ashanti.
So Ja Rule not gonna come out? You sure?
He could make a guest appearance, but he's not on the docket, and he does not. It's not guaranteed.
I need him on the docket, bitch. This has got to be a package.
So what you're saying is you need her in collaboration with a few more girls.
Come on, that's a good word. Collaboration.
You need her with Escape and Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, see, you selling me? Now you know what was the reason we really went to see Escape? Because of
Tamar, Monica.
Come on.
All the rest of the girls.
We
really didn't want to go see Escape. It was like, we just had to see Escape, but it was a package.
It was
they
a
put
package.
Together a good lineup.
A package for the price of one of our faves. Probably
less.
Much less, actually. Now that I think about it. Put Ashanti in a package and we've got a deal, bitch. That's the final verdict.
Okay. So you feel like Tank? Did you see Tank's?
I saw him say something about the state of R&B, and then I clicked off because I didn't want him to say anything that would make me not
want to mess with him. He basically said that he feels like R&B as opposed to hip hop is not not catching their pocket.
Come on now.
As they should, because he said, and he uses his example, he said, if you see a hip hop, if there's a new Lil Vaseline or Lil whatever coming up,
come on now, Vaseline.
They will hop on everybody rap song and they'll let them spit a verse. All these other rappers will welcome them in for the most part. You know, that's collective. You know, there's some beefs that go on but for collectively, you'll hear them featured on everybody else's rap song. They'll do 15 verses, before and leading up to that first album coming out, so on and so forth. But he says in R&B, it's not like that. It's more of, if an R&B artist has to come up, they have to come up on their own. Like a Daniel Caesar, he released his album and he had to do it all by himself. He don't have no other connections. He don't have no other R&B people reaching out to him, helping him come up. He said when I had my last album, he said there was one person who reached out to me, one, and I felt it was somewhat true. I feel like, like a lot of these up and coming, like it would be cool to see like some of the older girls like Jasmine Sullivan, Brandy, and hopping on songs with some of these new R&B
We can't
girls.
even get Jasmine Sullivan and Brandy on a song, let alone get them to work with other people.
For example, Tank and Luke James hopping on a song with Daniel Caesar and the rest in Black or whatever his name is.
But maybe the girls who are already established that you're expecting to do that, or established in our eyes, maybe they still feel like they on to come up too, and they ain't got no time to lose none of they.
And I think he addressed that. He basically was saying that he feels like it needs to be more collaborations, more R&B people banding together, helping them out. Bringing each other out on their tours. Let Jasmine Sullivan letting some of these LMAs, all these other girls come out and perform a song or two, and then Mary J. Blige can bring out Jasmine Sullivan, and everybody start collaborating with everybody, and everybody start to really help to develop and build up R&B and make it a more of an experience. And he said, and not everybody out here on a solo thing, and everybody out here struggling together. He said, we can. Basically, he basically tried to say that if we can also collaborating and helping each other out where we can, then it'll help push R&B forward. And he also referenced, I think at one point he referenced the 90s and how you had like what is the group? I can't even think of it. Boyz II Men singing on everybody's songs. Like you had all of these people doing some of that. Like Mariah Carey collaborated with a bunch of different R&B guys throughout the 90s. Like, yeah, she has definitely been the definition of what Tank is talking about. And he thought that we need more of that. Even poor Beyonce coming in here and bringing some of these younger people in here and let them sing on a record or come out doing one of her shows or something like that. She
has found another way to do it.
She'll come out on the show, but get on the record. That's a bit much.
Yeah, baby, the music's got to be right. No, I can't. I'll let you open. Sell as many CDs as you can in the lobby.
I'll let you write the song for me,
and I'll put my name beside it. Maybe actually before it, but anyway, we're not gonna go there. Yeah, I think that what Tank said is definitely true. I definitely agree, and I'm glad you brought up Mariah Carey. I think that she's been the one, because even before Jay-Z popped, she was there. You know what I'm saying? She's worked with people regardless of. She's even worked with Escape. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she's worked. It does not matter. It never mattered. It was whoever's gonna make this song work, right, and make it. But you know what? Now that I think about it, it might be why she was as successful as she was, because she did not. She cared about the music. She didn't care about your status and what that was gonna do. You was above me, below me, whatever. Let's just make it happen. But yeah, that's definitely a great point that Tank brought up. I'm interested to know. Has he been reaching back or reaching to the side or reaching up?
After this statement, I'm expecting some collaborations. Let Luke James get on the song with you and
because I don't think that Tank. Let me say this: I'm not, and I didn't say that to say, oh, Tank wouldn't do that or is not doing that. I don't know. I would have to go look and see about that. But what I will say is that I think he's very confident in his abilities and things. So I don't think that he would have the problem that I think that some people are having with trying to do something like that. I think that he's very confident. And I could see him doing something with her, because I think he did a song with Trey Songz and somebody else. That he did do one. Now that I'm thinking about it,
he was in the TGT group.
He was in that group, but I mean those were all well. They were all even in my eye, but according to Tyrese, he was above the other girls. But
that's the problems that Tank was talking about.
It truly was.
But yeah, I would love to see that. I think that I don't have any problem with what he said, but a lot of the girls in the comments were saying that, oh, that ain't it. That's not true. But one thing I do want to say is I feel like it's a crime that we have not
in
gotten.
The industry? What they talking about? What you mean? How do you know? What do you do? Do you?
All I'm gonna say is I think it's a crime that Brandy and Jasmine Sullivan have not gotten in the studio together. I don't know what's going on.
I feel like they probably have gotten in the studio and neither one of them has released whatever they did. I really do, because when we started seeing them, I think there are at least 2 videos out there of them
together
doing some runs together. So I feel like them girls done got in the studio. I don't
feel like they have gotten. I feel like they've run into each other and they've done something together, but I don't feel like they've gotten. And while Brandy up here singing with Luke James, she needs to be tapping Luke James for this next album.
You know what? Maybe she really should. Now that she's on the same TV show with him, she really should.
Right,
Let me tell you. Y'all can shade Miss Star and Miss Empire, and Lee Daniels got his problems and things, but them shows are great, and the music is always good. I watch them shows faithfully, and let me tell you, Brandy and Queen Latifah did a bitch on the last episode. Come on now, it don't even matter if you put the TV show aside.
Just
Queen
the music.
Latifah and Brandy, bitch. That's a collaboration you probably never would have even thought about, and it worked because Brandy. That episode, she reminded me, oh yeah, Brandy is a little rapper, bitch.
Oh,
and Queen Latifah did a little rapping and singing. It was good. I'm telling you.
Okay.
They be. I'm telling you, Star is where it's at, and Empire.
Okay.
But anyway, that's just a little side note for the girls who might want to go check that out. Okay. So let's talk about this for a second. Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them sell Avon. Rihanna, we love you.
I'm not doing this with you today.
I know you heard Rihanna was offered to perform at the Super Bowl, and she said, "Is Colin Kaepernick gonna be on the field?" And they said, "Well, Rihanna, you know that. Well, I can't see myself performing, bitch. I can't. I thought I could, but you said, so I can't. I can't." So she's been asked to perform at the Super Bowl several times, and she has also turned them down several times. So this isn't the first time that they've tried to tap her, and I'm 100% with this. I'm glad Rihanna is just to see the artist that Rihanna has blossomed into, the person that she has, blossomed into from that little kind of shy like little girl that we first met her as. She's just coming to this. I don't know, because I think a lot of people, after the Good Girl Gone Bad project and all of that, I think people were starting to, for some reason, people were trying to connect Rihanna to Whitney Houston. Do you remember that?
I do, because she does favor her a little bit. Like I could see her dressed up as Whitney. I can't see her.
But not just physically, bitch. They thought that she was like finna go down that road, like that she was like. They thought that she was gonna self-destruct.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what you mean. Yes. I remember that. Mm-hmm.
You remember when they... So
I remember that. Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, it's just good to see who she has become. Yes, as opposed to what people thought, that she would end up being. Right. And so, let's just for a moment here, just to recap and remind ourselves why this whole Colin Kaepernick thing is just so crazy and what the NFL has done and why Rihanna is right about all of this. That man took a knee to protest against systematic racism and police brutality in this country, and the NFL basically banned his ass. Regardless of all the people who have beat up on women, gotten arrested for all these various charges, DUIs and shit, they take all them back. But this man get on his knee.
They basically said, what you won't do is speak up for a marginalized community of people. Well, that's not what you're not going to do on this field. That's basically what they said.
And since then, they have tried to put penalties in place to try to force these players to do what they want them to do. They have tried to come up with ways to reprimand them just for exercising the right to protest. Never mind that you can go on out with your tiki torches and march and somebody end up dead and all of that. That's all good and fine. You can plan some more organizations, all of that is fine. But you try to just take a knee, an innocent knee, nobody getting hurt, and it's a. And then they tried to say, oh, well, it's because he's not the best player. That's the reason why he's not on the field. And it don't. I'm not a football fan. I don't watch it, but it don't take much to do a little quick Google to find out that he is more accomplished now, even now, than half of the starting quarterbacks. He's better than every backup that is signed right now. That you cannot even. It's no way to allow that to be the reason why. And then even look at the video game side of it. This Madden NFL 19 that came out. I know y'all probably heard a couple months ago when Big Sean put out a statement on Twitter about how they censored Colin Kaepernick's name in his song Big Bank like it was a cuss word. Like it was just so people wouldn't have to hear that man's name. Ooh. And they did that after he filed his collusion grievance that we, still waiting on the results on. They did that after. So that's just going to be, in the end, they going to fuck themselves over because that's just more cushioning for this suit he got against their ass.
It is. And they really have no case, in my honest opinion. They have worked with the NFL teams and their owners to actively not employ him for reasons other than his performance on the field. Mm-hmm. So
I do want to name quick and briefly here. I randomly ran across this on Instagram. Amy Schumer, she put a message out there saying that
what is wrong with these white women?
What is
making sense?
Okay. Oh, okay. So you on the same page? Yeah. I'm like, okay. I don't know I get nervous when they do that. I do, especially looking at those statistics on who voted for Trump, and it makes me nervous. I get confused. But she put this message out here, and she said that basically she's been offered to do a number of Super Bowl ads, and she has turned every last one of them down in the name of Colin Kaepernick. I'm not doing it. And then she also tagged Maroon 5 and Adam what's his name?
Adam Levine.
I was going to say Lemberg, Lord. That's the gay one. Tagged they asses on Instagram and said, I think y'all should not perform at the halftime show.
Ooh.
Come on, Amy.
Call them out.
Call because see, that's the thing that you've got to be the one to call your own people out. Just like you talked about that video of that white woman coming up on that other one in the grocery store, getting her together and getting her out of there. They've got to be the one. You've got to police your own community. We can't do it. They not gonna listen to us. They listen to y'all. So yeah, I want to say thank you for that, Amy, because Monique was trying to throw my sis under the bus because she got paid more than her at one point.
At least she made it make sense.
She did. So what we gonna do is now right here we're gonna briefly take a little break.
Okay.
And we shall return, gals.
All right, because I gotta go to the bathroom as well. Oh, I'm back. I thought I was waiting on you, but you was waiting on me.
No, I just heard you sit down. I can hear you when you come in. I hear the door close.
See, I normally can hear you as well, but you were so quiet. I thought you weren't in the room.
I had the phone on mute. Boom, gotcha, bitch.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I did want to also mention. I forgot to say this, but for that Madden NFL 19 game, the other thing that was offensive was the fact that they didn't even have him in the game as like a potential player to be able to be added to a team, because it's not uncommon for normally, I'm gonna say even normally, even if NFL players have sat out for a year, they're still typically included in the game as being able to be played. So that was another offensive.
People popular as him. People won't want to play as him.
Exactly, they did. It was like several. Of course, the niggas, honey, we wanted to add him. I don't play, but I could see them online. They was like, I wanted him on my team. Like that meant something to them because they serious about their game, child. Right. They serious about their game, so that would have meant something to them. So they just all around the board, all the way around, they've tried to block this man coin any way they could. So he gonna get their ass though.
He is. It's all gonna work out.
They already tried to have a motherfucker dismissed. And the arbitrators was like, nah, dog.
No,
we want to push this forward. He got a case. No, it makes sense, bitch. No.
Right. But I did want to mention next, Georgia. What is going on with Georgia? I don't know what y'all doing. I want to say y'all. What y'all officials are doing over there? I think we talked about last week how they have put over. I want to say, was it 70,000 different voter applications?
Yes, it was an outstanding number.
Yeah, 50,000, something like that. Left them in a pending status because of minor issues. The exact match law that they had, they basically said if it didn't match, if all of your application didn't match all of your previous voting names or history, they can basically put as pending status, pending review, and all of that. But now this week it has been determined or revealed, the APM reports investigation that were published this past Friday state that over 107,000 people have been removed from Georgia's voting rolls and rosters. Basically removed their status, their registered status to vote, because they have not or may not have voted in previous elections. So let me break this down for you. So you registered to vote, right? Let's say you registered to vote 2008. Okay. You vote for Obama. Okay. Let's say you didn't vote since. So if you go 3 years without voting, or contacting some type of a government official, or responding to any one of their surveys or something like that, then you will automatically be flagged and put on a list of people who would then be who are becoming eligible or flagged as a potential eligible person to be removed from the voting list. Now, they don't immediately remove you. I want to say it's after that 3 year period. If you don't vote, it's another few years that go by, another year or two or something like that goes by once you're flagged before you're actually removed from the list to vote. But this is all under their use it or lose it law. So ahead of this year's investigation, or ahead of this year's midterms, over 107,000 people have been removed or deregistered. And this is all coming out after the registration date to vote for this midterm election has already closed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, when they could have actually helped.
So if had this been pretty much advertised, made public, people who probably were planning on voting because they registered 10 years ago, would now, if they didn't re-register again this year, would not be eligible to vote.
But that was gonna mean a bunch of old niggas was gonna be able to vote, and they didn't want that.
Right. So most likely these people will be Democrats. Most likely these people will be minority community status people who particularly vote in elections that mean something to them and not others. Like the Obama election, and then you don't vote in midterms and don't vote in other things that you feel like you don't care about. That's typically what happens. So Georgia, their government is actively working to suppress a certain type of voter, and y'all need to wake up, and y'all need to we need to get this together real quick. Fast in a hurry.
We do. We got to do better too. You got to beat them at these laws. You got to beat them at these little rules and all this shit that they don't put in place for you to be able to lose your right. Right. We got to beat that. We got to vote every time.
Right.
We got to vote every time.
It can't be a pick and choose no more. We have to stand up.
Mm-hmm. All
but
right.
Give me one quick second. I need to see what these kids are doing in here. Give me one second.
Yes, honey. Check on the babies.
5 minutes later.
Ooh, yes, honey. Lupita slaying this cover.
What happened?
Lupita on the cover of Vogue.
She slays every cover.
Bitch. She does. She slays in her sleep. Look, it's Lupita. So we actually started recording a little later today than we normally would. I kept texting Wise Guy Code. I was like, girl, give me 5 more, give me 10 more, give me 20 more. I kept having to add time because Red Table Talk started back today.
It did. I watched it. Did you watch it?
I sure did.
Okay.
When did it come on though?
Today. Today's Monday.
Like, no, right? I know that today. Like, what time?
I don't know what time they release it, but I knew.
What
it was
time
today.
did you watch it?
I watched it like an hour before we sat down to record.
Okay, so it was out a little bit before I knew it was out then, because I saw it at the last minute. That's why I had to.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha,
that's why I had to go, because I was like, Lord, I got to catch this real quick. So, we already kind of knew what the episode was going to deal with because in the preview for it, Will was there, Will Smith, and they were sitting down and they were talking about all of the countless rumors that have come up in their relationship, from the swinging to the Scientology. So we already knew we was finna get some tea. But, every time I come to Red Table Talk, you walk away with a little lesson too, honey, because they kind of, they get you together a little bit. They give you a little something that you can take away and apply to your own life.
Right.
So in this piece, and I think this is just part 1, right?
Yes,
they're gonna have like a
part
second
1.
part of Will
They're gonna
Smith
have the part 2 is the part that I'm ready to see. That's the part where they're gonna talk about the is they an open marriage or is they ain't all of that.
Okay, so yes, and that part is gonna be real. I mean, I feel like we already know, but we gonna get to that in a second. Let's get to the part that actually came on first. So, how did you feel about Will, the way that he met Cherie? That was crazy.
That was a crazy story. So for the honest of you, if you haven't watched it yet, so Will saw Jada. I think he saw her first audition for Fresh Prince, and he saw her on A Different World. But she ended up not being casted, I think initially on Fresh Prince, or casted at all, I'm not sure. But so long story short, he ended up talking to Alfonso Carlton, which is Carlton, telling Carlton that he wanted to talk to Jada, and he's like, okay, I'll hook it up. Whoop-de-whoop. So they go to the set for A Different World to Will specifically went to meet Jada, but ended up meeting Cherie before, and not even meeting Jada that entire night at all. And then went on to marry Cherie. Like that's like you intentionally go there to meet. You intentionally go there to meet a specific girl, but then you get sidetracked because you saw another girl
that was pretty, and he said, let me hold on, let me see what she about. What she got going on? She was with the dude who was going to introduce him to Jada. Like, that was the girl that he brought along with him, was Cherie.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, Will, you wasn't shit. You wasn't shit.
Yes.
So yes, he ended up getting with Cherie, and it wasn't until, I believe, Cherie and Will had a party at their house that he actually even had a conversation with Jada.
Was Cherie at the party? I thought from my understanding, I think that he said that Tisha Campbell and Martin.
He said that he had that was when sparks flew, but he said that before they had kind of met on and off. And I really think that it was at the party. I think he said that they threw a house party and that she came over and they had good conversation, they had good energy, and they hit it off or whatever. But and that's when he started talking about they kind of saw each other in passing all the time, and then they got to that event or whatever little gathering or something that Tisha Campbell and Dwayne threw, and that was when they had like a deep conversation. And it really, at that point, it was actually the next day Will had dinner with Cherie, and he said that was when he realized that he was married to the wrong person. Bitch.
And he said that he got up and went to the bathroom and just cried, and crying hysterically and laughing because he was coming to the realization that I'm married to the wrong person, somebody I probably don't even love anymore. And not only that, but I'm going to stay with them because I'm not getting a divorce.
That is a lot.
Jesus.
And then he said he would have stayed. He would have stayed, but Cherie ended up filing for divorce from him. And then he actually told her, no, bitch.
Bitch. Side note. I don't know if you know this, but Chrissy Teigen, John Legend tried to leave Chrissy Teigen. He tried to break up with her at one point.
I did not know this. Before they were married or after?
Before they was married. And they had been together for some years or whatever. And he tried to break up with her. And she said no. she said she told him no. And then they eventually went on.
Where you think you taking that dick?
and he was like, "What do you mean no?" And she just like, "No, we're not breaking up. We still together." And so she still proceeded to live their life like they was together.
Like
and
he ain't never say that shit.
And then years later, and then he finally they stayed together, and then now they married with kids.
Yes, because you know what, John Legend has passive energy. John Legend has passive energy, and Chrissy Teigen is very aggressive, and I think that they balance each other very well. I do love that. I love that about them. But
back to Will.
Yes. So let's see. So yeah,
Sharif out for divorce. He said no.
And he said no. And then she said to him, you know, you would really make me stay with somebody
I'm not in love with.
Come on now. And he was like, and at that point, I think it clicked for him. And he was like, nah, I ain't finna do this to nobody, fam. Because I already know how this feel. I'm dealing with it myself. I don't really want to be with your ass, bitch. Like,
but I just don't want to get a divorce.
I don't. That's it. I wanted this perfect picture. And divorce was not fitting into that. So he said that right after he signed his papers, he walked out the building, called Jada, bitch, and said, are you seeing anybody? She said no. And he said, well, now you are.
He said,
and
now
she
you
said,
me.
okay. See, this is why Cherie didn't like that hoe. Bitch, how the fuck?
But notice he said that he walked out of signing the papers. Which that's a discussion we had. Was it last week? I think it was
about whether Jada made sure to let the camera. She looked in the camera and she said, no, I did not sleep with him before.
We didn't have any type of. We didn't have anything that was inappropriate before they was divorced,
except deep conversations and hanging out a lot.
It wasn't a lot. They just hung out.
They saw each other enough. They was real snuggled up, honey, with Gina at that party. Did I call her Gina?
Oh Lord.
They were snuggled up. You know, you saw that picture. They were snuggled.
That was after the fact, because they're friends with them now. That wasn't.
They didn't put a stamp. They didn't put a time stamp on that picture.
I highly doubt that was why he was married to them.
They were snuggled. That's what you saw, though.
But anyway.
Okay, so apparently Jada is the one who really didn't want to be married, and I don't know why I was thinking it was Will.
No, I from Will's personality, I feel like Jada's the one that would leave. If there was to get a divorce, it'd be Jada the one that divorces.
That's exactly what it really would be.
Because she always has given me more of a serious and more of Will get on my motherfucking nerves look.
Yeah.
Than he has ever. He always looks at her with complete joy and happiness and love. I've never seen.
This just got me wondering though. Maybe Jada the one they got a little side something, because you know they always try to say that it's Will, but I don't know now, because Jada was the one. She said that she didn't. It was something about the construct of marriage that she didn't really like. They ain't see
and the rules of what you're supposed to, what you can and can't do.
Yeah, and then but she did say that the "to death do us part" piece. She did agree with that. So I guess, you know, she wasn't going to leave his ass, because she did agree with that piece. Yeah, so that relationship this was really, it gave us a lot of insight, and it was much wanted. And I can't wait to see what this next part is going to give us.
What else struck me was the fact that she had bought a house. She was going to retire from the acting industry, had bought a house in Baltimore, a ranch, a farm.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, literally the day that she would be moving in was the day that he called her, and that she didn't even spend one night in that house that she had bought. Not one.
Came right on out.
And came right on back to being with Will, and then that spoke to the next. Her saying yes at that moment spoke to how she responded to him for the next several years until she found her own happiness. Which that's what they're going to get into the next episode, which saying yes to everything he wanted, all of that.
He had a perfect picture for how he wanted his life to look, and he didn't, even if you didn't agree with it, and Jada didn't, because she would tell him, like, I don't like the size of this house. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? She would voice how she felt, but it was like he wasn't hearing her. He had this ideal of how he wanted his family to look, and she tried her best to fit into that. And then it eventually, I think at age 40, she said, is when she got to the point that she was like, I can't do this no more, which that was just 7 years ago. That wasn't that long ago.
But like that also was when it was heavy rumors about them getting a divorce as well.
Mm-hmm, it was, because it was about to happen. They were separated. And that was in the preview. He said in the preview, like, they ended up getting separated. So I don't know if legally separated or if they were just,
He said they broke up. So we don't know what that means. But one of the other profound things is when he said Willow touched him on his cheek and told him, "Aw, isn't it sad? Isn't it sad? Daddy has a picture of a family, but it ain't us."
He said he was mad at her for a little while after that.
But she was only a child.
She was only a kid. You can't be mad at no child because they just gonna tell it how they see it. And
that's exactly, as a 9-year-old, she was able to look at this and say, "You have this perfect image of a family and this beautiful picture that you done painted, but it ain't us in this picture."
That man, they are really. I don't know. I really like this though because there are a lot of people who I don't think want to see them be what they are.
Right.
And I think that some people are looking to kind of bring them down because I know it's a lot of rumors and stuff going around about Will right now. Apparently, him having some side thing. Her name supposed to be Heidi De La Rosa.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Okay, well, if you ain't heard, I'm finna tell you just a little bit here. Somebody's name is Heidi De La Rosa. She's apparently around 27 years old. She's Puerto Rican. She's a Sports Illustrated model. And, it seemed like every time Will is in a country, whether it's Egypt, Tanzania, Cuba, you look on Instagram and Heidi De La Rosa is in Egypt, Tanzania, and Cuba. Bitch, it was even one picture where Will said, "I'm golfing," and 4 minutes later, Heidi said, "I'm golfing too," bitch. So it just seemed like every time he doing something, Heidi there. So I don't know.
Watch we find out it's
really Jada, bitch. Come on now.
Once we find out it's his oldest son, girlfriend, or something like that.
It could be. What's
his oldest son name?
Trey Smith.
Trey, yeah. We found out it's Trey girlfriend. Because Trey be with his father everywhere.
He do, and we just don't be knowing it because Trey be trying to avoid that camera.
I feel like the Smiths are professional enough to be discreet. They're not gonna be out, and I don't feel like they're not gonna let no incidents like that just be actually happen. Like if he was actually seeing like if he does have a side piece, I don't think that he's gonna let it be this messy. It's not gonna be that messy. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't think that it would be that messy either. And even if I don't know because I guess I gotta wait to this next part because Jada described their union as unique. They have a very unique union. So I don't know. I'm just gonna have to see.
We're gonna have to see what they done crafted for themselves next episode. That's what I'm really interested
exactly.
to see.
What have they designed that is working for them? I want to know. It was one little story in here that Will told that was interesting to me. He said that Will and Jada were having some party at their house and they had like 20 guests there. You remember this part of it? Mm-hmm. And Trey was like almost 2 years old at that point. And he was sitting in Will's lap and Jada, I guess, kind of got a little mad at Will and she cussed at him in front of the 20 people and his almost 2 years old son and said, "Will you just shut the fuck up?" I'm like, damn, Jada. Will say he rolled up a newspaper and pop.
He bapped her.
Hit this girl on the head like she was a dog. And pulled her in the other room and let her know, like, we not gonna talk to each other like this.
This is what we not gonna do.
If you feel like you gotta talk to me like this, this ain't gonna work.
And he said,
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say he also cross-referenced that with the fact that he saw his father punching his mother, like going up at the top,
bitch. Yes,
punching her like she was a man. Like, and so he said that I don't want to say he referenced that he could have done that, but he, in a way, he kind of did. He didn't want that, and then he didn't want to even remotely get to a place where we this upset at each other.
Because I already done hit you in the head with a newspaper in front of 20 people. I done hit you in the head with a newspaper in front of all these people. Girl, I don't want to have to put my hands on you. That's what he was telling her in that moment. And she said that. She said it because he was like, he tried to make it, we'll try to make everything perfect. You can still see it. He still acts like that. Maybe he's just come to the realization, but when you addicted to something, bitch, when you addicted to trying to look perfect, you're always trying, but he knows now. But he was like, sometime I'll come to Jada and I'll say, I gotta go away from this situation right now because I want to be able to come to you with a response that you deserve, and I have to just step away. And she said, "No, sometime you'll tell me I gotta leave before I knock your head off." And she let it be known, like, "No, nigga, you let me know."
She said, "Yeah, you say that sometimes, but the other time."
Yeah, so I really like that, but I like the devotion that they have to trying to get better though for their union. I really like that because he was like, we have not. He said it was 20 years after that before they ever even used a cursing word in conversation. Period.
Right.
Like before they even let that with each other. Right. And he said they took communication classes and they didn't raise their voice. Like they really worked to fix that, to resolve that situation. So I really
one side note is when he said yeah, we have it was 20 years we never cursed at or used cursing in conversation with each other, and we never raised our voices at each other. But my concern was Willow was like, oh wow.
I don't recall you not raising your voice at mommy. Oh wow!
Like this was news. This is news to me.
I thought this was the red table, the real red table talk. But this is okay. So we doing the fake one today. Wow.
We doing a pink table talk.
Right. So we changing the show for Daddy. Wow. Wow.
No, it was more like. It could have even. I interpreted it initially that way, but I also could interpret it that you don't like. Some parents don't fuss and fight in front of their kids, but behind closed doors, she didn't know. Like she probably didn't know that also behind closed doors they also didn't do it. So it could be either. She
was probably legit surprised. Let me tell you, every time that Willow laughs or makes a comment, it always sounds like she ready to go home. She always, wow, really, mommy? Like she just always got that little dry approach to it. That's just how she do.
Now, if I had to ask somebody off the show, it would be Willow. I just feel like she's too young.
We're not doing this. Maybe she needed to only be in the episodes that they needed to have a mother-daughter conversation.
Right. But the other episodes, she has been able to add pretty much nothing of value to me. And I feel like that's only because she's only 17. She hasn't lived. Like she doesn't. It's like having a conversation with a 17-year-old. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody of a certain age, over a certain age, wants to do that. And I feel like this is grown up. I feel like this is grown up talk. You know how when you go like even when you become 18, you don't immediately get invited to the grown up table. You get invited to the grown up table probably when you deep in college, a little later.
You may not even be invited to the grown up table then.
Then, right?
Because I'm thinking about that now. I'm like, I don't know. I think I still sit.
Well, in my house, I think I got invited once I was gone out of the house for consecutive years in college. That's when I got invited.
Okay, you better get a voice at the table.
But then you still don't know what you don't know. It could be an even smaller table. But we'll get to that on another episode.
Oh, Lord.
Black families do. It'd be even smaller tables.
Yeah, so I like the one more thing that he said was that one of the reasons he didn't want to respond like that with anger, with releasing his anger that way, is that he says that behavior becomes addictive. Right. And that I thought that was very big, and basically he was saying like if you hit somebody and you see the way they respond to it and they take it and it's nothing, you instantly have less respect for them. And right. Instantly, it's not a big deal to hit that person again. You know, if any behavior that you do that it is accepted, it becomes easier to do that.
The first time you really do anything, when you think about life, the first time you do anything, that's always the hardest time. Now that you've done it, it's always easier. Like I think he gave the example. If I call you a bitch, the first time I may really be shaken to my core. I may really be remorseful, but it's gonna be easier for me to continue to call you that once I've done it the first time.
Right.
Yeah. So it was good. The Smith family, they know how to. how to keep us intrigued, to keep us involved.
They do, and this is a topic that, like, they know, this has been something that's been talked about in the black community for a long time.
Right.
Is what is going on with them Smiths? What is like? they just a little different. We
need to figure out what the
is
hell
Will
is going
gay?
on.
Is Jada gay? Is what's up? Like what's going? Like we just. So I'm glad that they kind of giving insight and they answering some of that and they turning it into a coin. Go ahead on, Jada. I see.
Because since the Red Table Talk has come out, I've been waiting for the episode where Will will come on there. Mm-hmm. Like since the very first episode. And
this is a great way to bring your new season in.
Right. So this is season 2, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you said you got another rec list.
Yes, I do. I think I have one more. Let me see what this is about. Refresh my memory. Oh God. Okay. Do I want to do this? Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. The Trump administration has announced they will be narrowing. Down? I wish. They're seeking to narrow the definition of sex and gender.
Huh?
So they are seeking to narrow the definitions of sex and gender. What is your sex and what is your gender? So the Department of Health and Human Services is reportedly in the forefront of this effort to legally define sex under Title IX. According to a memo that was obtained by the Times, the department wants the government to adopt a uniform definition of gender on biological basis. The proposed changes, that means that it will be defined under your biological and it will be under your defined gender will be defined as biological, unchangeable, and determined at birth.
Oh, Lord. Here they go attacking these folk again. Here they go.
So, this would undo the recognition that was given to 1.4 million Americans who are currently transgender in America under the Obama administration. Title IX protects people. A lot of people are like, what's the point? What's the point? So what if the government recognizes you a certain way? The issue is Title IX protects people from discrimination based on their sex in federally funded education programs. So the HHS, the Department of Health and Human Services, basically states that if they redefine what your sex is, they would then, these 1.4 million people in America who are now transgender will no longer be protected, because they're trying to basically separate your sexual identity versus your actual gender. They're basically trying to say that those are two different things, and that sexual identity is not protected.
Government.
You're right. If you feel that you are a woman, even though you was born with male genitalia, then you still gonna be a male. And the fact that people treat you differently because you decided, or this is all from their perspective, because you decided that you're a woman in your mind, that's not going to be protected anymore. So,
oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Oh, good. We need to get them out of office so quick. I don't even. They have done so many things.
This the thing about it though, because you got people on all sides. Now this is an all sides issue, Trump. Mm-hmm. You got people on all sides that don't give a fuck.
Right.
Whether they Democrat or Republican, black or white, the issues that you're talking about, that this particular move, the people who are going to be affected by this particular move, people don't care about that.
Right. You said black or white, straight or gay.
Straight or gay, black or they don't care. So that's the worst part about it. They don't even have nobody that care. Nobody that's even in their corner to push for something
to make this right. I guess that's why you didn't hear about it this week.
That's exactly why I didn't hear about it, because it ain't nowhere. You actually gotta be paying attention there. I still been on hiatus from the news, honey. I have yet to come back. I thought to click today. I said no. Why Scott Cole gonna tell me? I'm gonna let him tell me. I can't do it.
But yeah, the Department of Justice, the Justice Department, is expected to review their new definition and make a determination before the end of the year. So they have not yet made the decision or defined it, but they are seeking to narrow the scope, and it's looking like they're gonna remove any protections that the few protections that this group of people already has.
Few is the key word in that sentence.
Right.
Okay, so this next little topic here is going to allow you to talk about what you texted me about 25 minutes ago.
That was 25 minutes ago already?
I think it was, child. You know, time is
it
pushing
was.
when we on this
it
little mic.
was.
So Nicki Minaj is featured on Future and Juice WRLD's album on a song called Transformer. Did you hear it?
I did. I heard it was something to do with Cardi B. I didn't care that much to listen
She
to it
said,
again.
Nicki rapped and said, 4 albums in, pull a milli for a show. While these bitches is serving Milli Vanilli on the low.
That's actually hot. That's actually hot.
Girl, that's a bar. That is a bar. That's a bar, ho.
I still feel like lyrically, this is a rap battle that Nicki Minaj can win. Now, the Remy Ma, that's a different story. I feel like Nicki Minaj couldn't win physically or lyrically, but I feel like Cardi B's only hope was to throw a shoe at him.
Oh, no. You don't think that she can get nobody to write her nothing good enough to come back from that?
But the reason I say that is because if you were to line up Nicki Minaj's best verses over her entire career, Cardi B does not have one verse to compete with any of those best verses. In my eye, if I were to go and make a list of Nicki Minaj's top 10 verses, and you can tell me anything that Cardi B has put out so far, not one of them will reach either in top 10. Now, I'm not saying that Nicki Minaj is still in her top 10 days. What I'm just saying is lyrically,
she's high enough to knock Cardi down. Is what you're trying to say.
Exactly, and I don't feel like even with her 12 umpteen writers, they still have not written anything.
Come up, crafted anything
better than what Nicki Minaj has written in her prime.
So Nicki also said, she said they ain't warned her. Now she out here facing karma. Had a chance but got at me. Now she's a goner. Come on, Nicki, bitch. She just laying more of these little traps for Cardi. Cardi, you really don't need to respond. You don't need to say anything, girl. Since you already got a court date coming up this month, it's actually the 29th for a whole, and that Nicki also helped exacerbate, I'll say. So sis, you don't need to get back at her no way, no how. Don't just let it go. Just how long are y'all gonna do this?
I don't know. Forever, ever.
Well, that's what Cardi said. She said when I'm beefing with bitches, we beefing forever. So I guess I don't know. And then Nicki kind of give me I don't get tired energy too. I don't know. This could go on forever.
Well, Nicki's whole career has been shading the rest of the female industry, rap industry.
She needed source material, and that's what Cardi's doing. Cardi has lit a fire in Nicki. She that's the tea. Cardi actually is lighting a low key fire in Nicki, because all 6 verses is about Cardi B now.
Right.
All of them. Every time she get on the song, you already know she finna shade her. It ain't even no.
She did have one verse that came out like the other day. It was just a fun verse. Like it was. She didn't do any. Well,
let me decipher the lyrics and I'll let you know. You try to look at stuff with a.
Well, I'm not Mr. What is it? Investigadget or whatever he is.
That's me.
I don't be.
That's me. Bitch, I got all kinds of gadgets. I'm gonna run it through. I'm gonna run it through a machine or two, bitch.
Is it a bot or is it not?
Is it shade or is it not? But yeah, you text me about 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes ago and said Cardi B got a new song about to drop Thursday that we can't talk about today because it's Tuesday.
Monday.
Yeah, one of the two.
But the cover looks good.
The cover looks amazing. So if the song is gonna be anything. You know, I'm not really
giving me Tony Braxton in the face. Look at this picture and tell me that that'll look like.
But Tony looked like that because of lupus.
See, I didn't say all that.
But that's what it is, though. That's somebody said it's plastic surgery, but that ain't me.
I didn't know lupus did all that, but I'm not a lupus expert either. So,
well, I don't know. You know, K. Michelle at first she said she had lupus too, so I don't know. But the cover does look good. I'm not rooting for Cardi or rooting against Cardi. I'm not rooting for Nicki or rooting against Nicki. Like, I'm not. So if one of them got a cute bop for the moment, okay, that's cute. Whatever. I'm really not gonna be putting much money in your pocket. No way. I'll give you a stream or two, but bitch, that's not gonna be not even a penny. So I'm not. You know, I'm not really. You know, I'm not finna go buy no merch or nothing like that. So. I don't know. I mean,
see you live. It's not.
Yeah. If y'all want to tear each other down for our entertainment, I'm okay with that. I've been watching Tamar do it for years. That's fine. I have absolutely no problem doing that.
Lord.
Let's see. Rihanna, Jada.
Oh, I did want to mention the Grammys did announce that they have added over 900 members or something like that. Or is it 1,300?
Are they niggas?
Of women and minority groups to their voting academy for this.
How many was already in the academy?
I don't know. I think it's just like a couple, like 1,000 or 2,000, something like that. So he's going to be a significant presence. If 900 people, because right now the voting academy is mainly white men. This controls the awards, which is why white men always typically win the album of the year category historically. But now
in those things.
Right, they done stole 3 different album of the years from the Queen, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just got upset, but anyway. So now,
I'm sorry, bitch. I'm sorry.
Along with they done throw stuff from your girl too, so it's not just.
Oh yeah, you know. I don't even know what a Grammy is. I don't know what that is. I don't know her.
So they've added overwhelming presence. I have to get the numbers, but. To the voters who are now going to be eligible to vote on these categories. So I'm expecting a lot more black people being nominated, a lot more rap, particularly, and R&B to be a presence as far as the, particularly rap, because rap, if you go through the top 10 lists of Billboard Hot 100s throughout the entire year, 9 out of the 10 will be rap songs. Literally. 9 out of, if you pull up the Billboard Hot 100 right now, I would say at least 6 or 7 of them are rap songs, if not 9.
This is true. Every now and then, country will slide up there, but really, hip hop is taking the
Taylor
fuck
Swift
over.
Somebody like that, somebody
with a big backing. But hip hop is taking over. It's taking over. The Grammys would actually benefit from awarding more hip hop artists, from having more hip hop performances. They would benefit. I don't even know what
performances. I don't know because But anyway,
what you saying? The hip hop girls can't perform, right? Is that what you saying?
These hip hop girls, they don't be doing much.
Well, as long as they stick, Cardi does that well, like you say.
Cardi is doing better. She's one of the better ones. But these hip hop guys, they ain't doing nothing. They'll have some girls on the stage and walk around. That's what they're gonna do.
We need a Childish Gambino or Kendrick Lamar or somebody that's gonna really, that's gonna put some energy into the performance.
Even Big Sean do a little 2-step.
He will.
But so I'm expecting a lot more people of color and a lot more minorities to be nominated and actually be able to win the awards. What they will do historically, they will nominate you and sit you up there just so they can pan to you every 8 seconds throughout the 3-hour award show and then not give you the award. That classic moment when Blue saw that her dad didn't get that award. That was hilarious. She was like, "What?"
Because her filter that tells her, the filter that says hide the truth, she don't have it. She don't got that.
That don't kick in to you like 11 or 12 or 13.
Yeah, and it might not ever kick in when you're born with that type of money and them type of parents. It may never. When your parents teach you, bitch, guess what? You're gonna be hot regardless of what you do.
And when you partying with celebrities,
come on now,
you're not even partying with the baby celebrity. You partying with grown celebrities,
with the real ones. They out here trying to get clout on you.
Because I was thinking that the other day, I saw Beyonce had a picture of something, and it's like Alicia Keys, everybody, all these, and then this baby Blue. She like 3 and 4 walking around this party. I'm like,
come on now.
Yeah, that's a good and a bad thing. I don't feel like she should be at these parties, but it does make for a cute photo op.
Now, this is true. Oh, let me mention briefly, Michelle Williams and Chad Johnson, they're gonna have a TV show.
Yes, I think I posted a clip of it.
I think we already knew that, but like you said, the commercial's out now. We can see the little. Did you see what she said? Kelly, Beyonce, he put a ring on it. Did you?
Yes, that was cute, and they actually count the moment that he actually put a ring on it. So they've been filming a while.
They have. I hope that it stays positive. I feel like it will. Whose network did you recognize?
It's on OWN.
Oh, see, that worries me. That worries me because see, Oprah likes to start shows positive, and then she likes to twist you and turn you because she had come on, you already, and that wasn't even the example I was going for, so you already know what I'm saying.
What happened?
Because the other one I was going for was the one, I can't remember that lady's name, but it's that woman who used to sing behind Tina Turner, and she got a cooking show.
Sweetie Pies.
And Sweetie Pies, bitch.
It's turned out to her making pies.
Look at me, giving my, I'm building wealth, and I'm getting ready to lead this to my kids, and it went from that to child, I got to sue my child because he down here still doing the wrong damn thing. Then he on here, he got all these issues with Jennifer Williams, and bitch, it blew up.
It did.
That
was a whole mess. And we loved every minute of it.
And like you said, Iyanla is another one. It started off with she's really fixing people's lives to no, sis. You might be destroying them, bitch. You might low key.
What did she tell? What did she tell?
Sheree.
Oh, what did she tell Sheree? She's degraded people that say all kinds of
stuff. She said you built this house for yourself. You did not build this for your kids. Sheree was so offended by that shit. You can't tell me that you built this for girl. You had the kids sleeping on air mattresses. You did not build that damn house for them.
But anyway,
she by she not, honey.
Ooh, child.
Oh, quickly, also, Ariana Grande, I do know that she broke off her engagement with Pete Davidson. I don't even know if y'all care about that. But it is sad because she got a lot going on right now.
Who is this again?
Ariana Grande.
Oh, yes.
I know, I don't really know her either. But she has a lot going on right now. And that is unfortunate because I felt like that was going to happen with Pete because they got together awfully quick and they got engaged awfully quick too. Like right. I think they might have known each other maybe not even a whole month before they was engaged.
Yeah, I was going to give them 3, but maybe not even that. It was just, she's going through a lot. She needs some prayers.
So she don't end up like Demi Lovato and what's the other one, Selena Gomez? Didn't she have to get help or treatment or something recently?
Right. And also, I was thinking it just randomly like this past week just crossed my mind that bombing that was at her concert. Like I would never want to perform again. Like if I knew that people came out to see me and ended up dead. That's a lot. That is a lot. And I don't know if I would ever be able to step on the stage and not think about that. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like that's what her first single, that No Tears Left to Cry and all of that. I think it was like kind of. I'm not gonna say she wrote it.
I'm not deep in the.
I know you. I know. I understand. But that song right there, I felt like it was a good first single, and it was powerful because I felt like it was her story. Like she was saying, like I'm all cried out. Like I got to come out of this. I feel like she's probably has been depressed lately.
Right. And I know she talked about mental health and dealing with that.
She has.
And that's
in that interview you posted where she was crying.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, I knew then. I was like, yeah, her and Pete ain't gonna make it, child.
They not. He making her laugh right now, but that's not gonna last forever.
Then your ex-boyfriend done killed himself, and that's just oof.
And then they blaming you on Instagram and Twitter.
Dummies.
Oh Lord, but anyway.
Oh, Meghan Markle's pregnant. Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations. That's one of Serena's best friends. Is that it? Let me look at my list.
Secure that legacy, bitch. That's what you getting. Secure that legacy, girl.
Lord. Oh, Tina Turner also has a new book that's coming out. It's about love after. I think it was a little bit about Ike as well, but her love with her relationship. But she also revealed in an interview that she had, in these years that she been absent, she done had a stroke. I think she had some type of brain cancer or something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
A whole bunch of stuff. But she done came on the other side and still kicking and still doing it. And then somebody, I think, because she did the interview with Gayle King. And Gayle was like, the fans want to see you perform again. And she said, they'll be all right.
They certainly will. They will go right back online and look at old performances.
That's exactly what she said. If they want to see me perform, go look at my last tour.
Come on. She
said, I put it on DVD for a reason.
For a reason. This is going to tie you for forever, bitch.
Because I will not be in no stage. No
But let me tell you, it would be a powerful day. if Tina decided though that I'm finna go on share myself. I'm finna do a share moment.
Do a one little something.
Come on now. Which one of y'all award shows powerful enough to put that together? Now, sis gonna want a coin. I'm telling you now. Don't think you.
It'll probably have to be the Grammys. I feel like anything less than the Grammys, not.
It's not.
They getting forward straight to voicemail.
You right. You right.
Is that it though? Are we done?
I think so. I think that's all the notes I've took and taken and things. So I think that's it.
Oh, one more thing. A Star Is Born. Have you seen A Star Is Born?
I haven't with Lady Gaga.
You should go see it. I was not optimistic or hopeful.
Why?
From the previews, it just looked like it was going to be a snooze fest. The preview had no music. It had the previews didn't really show you what the movie was going to be about at all.
Was it about her? Somebody thinking she ugly and can't make it in the business?
That's one scene, literally like one or two scenes. Like that's like a recurrent under.
But that happened. That moment was okay.
But that's not what the movie is about.
Okay.
That's not what the movie is about.
But that might be why they didn't have Beyonce play her. That's what I'm really trying to get at.
Oh,
because Beyonce was originally supposed to do this.
Yes, but that's also A Star Is Born is a remake. They've done like this is gonna be like the fourth or fifth one. Right. Each one is different, meaning they tell a different story. It's not like Cinderella where they just tell the same story over and over. It's like they make it about the time, and it has a different plot, it's a different movie each time, but it's under the same name and has a general, guidelines of of young female becoming a star. That's right. typically the basis. But everything else about the movie is different. So originally Beyonce was going to do A Star Is Born. That was years ago. But that was before she had Blue. But what ended up happening was I think it was Clint Eastwood was going to do the movie or something like that, or direct it. But something ended up happening. Beyonce got pregnant. Clint Eastwood decided he wasn't doing the movie no more. And then I think Bradley Cooper, I think he had a directing role, or he had a heavy hand in the production of this movie, and you can see it because it's almost more about him than it is about. And I feel like they went into a whole other direction that Beyonce wasn't gonna fit in. So I feel like originally it was going to be like, oh, this is gonna be the first black Star Is Born and have a whole more of a blacker direction with it. Or that's originally when Beyonce was gonna do it. But once they started taking it white and country and rock and a whole nother something else, that was like, okay, this is not for Beyonce. It's not. Beyonce said to the left. But yeah, but the movie is good. I would recommend you guys go see it. I enjoyed it. It is long though. So unless you're going into a dining movie theater, you might want to get you something to eat before. You may want to, be rested. But it's not boring. It's long, but it's not boring at any point where I felt like I was going to go to sleep, but it was just like,
I've heard some of the music from it, and I want to see it based on that alone.
Yeah, the music is really good. Because Gaga, it was one of them songs. I was like, who produced these vocals? Because she was giving me a little soft, like Mariah Carey notes. Because Gaga can sing. But Gaga don't normally sing. But it was, when I heard it, it was like somebody had to be in the studio and tell her to do this. Because this is not
you, bitch.
This is not vocally what you would have chosen to do.